Yeah, hi all. Welcome to another session of mock interviews with Ankit Jain. So this is me, Ankit Jain. So I'm a technical architect at an MNC. I'm 20 certified. I'm active in Salesforce event. Today also I attended a Salesforce event at Pune. And this is my LinkedIn URL. Feel free to connect with me. And to be updated on the future sessions, you can join the WhatsApp group. I will just keep a pause of 2 seconds here so that people who have not for our YouTube audience, like who are not a part of the community, our WhatsApp group, so they can join. And if suppose you want to have a one-to-one session with me, then you can book it on TopMate. And we have already recorded many of the interviews and many trigger scenarios and some architect content also we have recorded. We have some playlist for beginners as well. So we have like from beginner, like whether you are from other technologies to Salesforce or whether you are on mid like normal developer or you are an architect, for each of us there's a tailored playlist that has been created, so you can find it on our channel. So it's a QR code, you can register, you can scan that. And talking about like trigger scenarios, see in all of the most of the companies, like in the round one you would expect trigger scenarios are given and you have been asked to write a code. Now, what challenge actually happens is like most candidates don't prepare like how don't know how to prepare write a trigger on from scratch. Now the like there could be many patterns of the trigger. Like I talk about like one scenario could be your I will categorize it into three different parts. First part is your custom rollup summary pattern. Second could be your future method or mixed DML, I would say. Third could be Apex managed sharing. And fourth could be like combination of all of it. Or it could also be like email sending plus mixed DML. Or there could be another type that is validation. This is comparatively simple, validation one. So we'll be trying to cover a few of those patterns here. Although like the intent is not to mug up, the intent is like you understand how it is built and then we do it. So like let's get started. Like we'll start with our first scenario. The first scenario says like there's a company that sells the products on a subscription basis, and you have that object that has the information of the subscriber. So subscription has a account, states subscriptions value like the actual valuation status, and on that account you want a field, custom field, total active subscription, and you want to populate how many are active subscription out of that. Now let's break it down. On which object do we want the value to be populated? Account, right? Can any one of you acknowledge like, because I wanted to like two-way communication, it shouldn't be like just I'm speaking and you're just being spectators. So you can feel free to unmute yourself and talk about the things. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so on the account, we want this field to be populated. Now, first understand what we want is like this total active subscription. And when will this field has to be populated? When a subscription record is either updated or it has been deleted or it has been created. That time this value should get updated, right?
Yes.
Now let's, I will just try to solve it on the go. So for simplification, I will just paste this scenario here. Now the trigger syntax is trigger on, like trigger name. Trigger name would be subscription trigger on. Now what is the object name? This is subscription underscore C. What scenarios it should be fired? It is a calculation. So we'll need to have it after insert, after update,
After update, after delete.
after and delete. Now I know this has to be done. Now the next part is, now there are various ways of writing this code. One way could be like you have like a public. Here will pass. Sorry. Uh, Now what we do here is we apply switch case on whatever is the operation type. Now the syntax is, now this, instead of putting like our regular if else, the recommended approach is you're using the switch case because it reduces the time. Execution is much more faster. Then here we have this. Now we have like, now this is my skeleton is ready. Okay. Are you following? Please acknowledge.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, sir, we're following it.
Mm. Now notice like what our trigger is logicless. We are just putting calling the handle method here and just passing the details. Now there is a subscription service that will create. It is also called the domain class or a service class, also sometimes it is called. Okay. Now what should come in the parameter? For now, I will be passing both the list. In case I need anything, then I don't have to change the method signature. It is saying like it should all active. So first thing I need to do is I will have to check what on this, which are the substitutions which are active. I will create a set of these IDs, account IDs. Why set? Because I don't want to have a duplicate. We have a code on this. Okay. Now I got the account IDs. Now there's a delete scenario as well where this could be called. So what I will do is like I will add a check. Now which scenario new list can be null? It can be null in case of your
Insert,
sorry.
not null in after insert. It's null.
After insert, new list can be null.
Not null.
Uh, no, when it can be null.
Uh, After delete,
After, yeah, after delete it will be null. Even after delete, we need to handle technically like looking at the actual scenario. Normally like practical scenarios, like when in the interview, they might rarely ask you to handle the delete and undelete scenario. No, either of the scenarios, it is the account IDs I have for all. Now, what should be I doing? What is the ask? The ask is like to get the value of all the active subscription. What should be our next action?
so we have to fetch the values from the subscription object, which is we have to add the clause where the status will be active.
Yeah. So for active, like, see, what we have done is like only those subscriptions which are active, we have considered that we have fetched that only first. We can do it like that as well. Like in the instead of doing this calculation of active, we handle everything and then we apply in the where clause that it can be active. Even that is a possibility. Let me just do that as well. Like instead of handling this logic there. Now what I do is like I have everything. Now I need to do an aggregate query. I'll query this. Now I want the valuation. So from valuation where I will get, I already have a field, subscription value on the subscription object. This is alias. If I don't use this, then also it is fine. Fine. Now what I will do is like I want a proper valuation. So I will need to have a value of account ID comma decimal.
In group by, we can use group by.
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot group by. I will have to use that. Yes, my bad. Yeah. Then only it will come accurately. Otherwise, it would error out.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't follow.
In which yeah, in which case we are using the group by in aggregate query.
In which case we are
Means
aggregate query. We are doing it. See, in all the
we are
variable there
using
is
the
a
group
custom
by.
roll up. Somebody. Sorry, I didn't follow. Can you repeat?
Why we use the group by? Why we
Yeah.
use the group by in the aggregate query?
We used it because we want for corresponding one account. What is our ask? From that one account, how many subscriptions are there? And we want a collective valuation of that.
Okay,
That is why we have done the grouping.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. I will have to do a typecast of here, as per my understanding, because it would return an object. Get method returns an object. And value again, I will need to typecast it. Anyway, said I will not use this aliasing. I will use the expr0. This field, like suppose whenever using an aggregate function here, like sum or anything like that, then if you have to get fetch it, then you have to use expr, for the first one. And suppose you have the next one, then expr1, something like that, the sequence goes. Now you have this. Now what we can do is like, we can create an account instance here. Let me, instead of doing this, why I need to create a map itself? Let me just do it in this one only. Now I will collect the list of accounts to update. Now again here you will have to add that check. If account list to update is greater than 0, is empty. Instead of greater than 0, it would be better in the interviews if you use is empty check. Okay, one thing we forgot here, having this and IDs. Otherwise it would return actually all of it. It is not we want, right? We need to update only for the ones which are means we are having in the trigger, like only those subscriptions account we want to update. Now it looks logically right. Now let me just add it here once.
I think in where class we can use account underscore C in account IDs.
Yeah, that I have added.
That is in having. That is no where class.
Okay.
From subscription where
Subscription.
account
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, where clause. Yeah.
having class is lost after group by.
Yeah. Correct. No, I think when you are having group by, then you can only use having clause. Where clause will not work. I can just try like running the same in one of the dev org, I think. Similar syntax, I think so. So the custom subscription will use the native object amount for opportunity. Where and having don't come together. And if I have it like this, okay, account ID, sorry. Mm,
I think after group by where class will come.
After group by, no.
Having class. Having will come. Having.
1 minute, let's see. Group by order by should be the last logically. Opportunity. This would be on the opportunity. What do you have? Stage. Having should be grouped by, yeah.
Having must be sum or count.
Having will come after the group by.
That is correct then. Having must be grouped by. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Now it is where plus this one. It should be this syntax. Yeah. Where is right? Then the group by comes. Then the having comes actually. Yeah. Now it is correct. So this way actually we'll have to follow. Now in the interest of time, like we have don't have much time, so we'll go the other scenarios and then those are actually already I have solved it. So we'll just run over it. So this is like a basic roll-up summary. So this was the active subscription value we wanted. So we updated it here. First step that we did is we collected all the account IDs. Then we did an aggregate query. Then we added those where from that value we created the account instance, then we updated it. Okay. Any questions in this so far? I'm taking it as a
Can you explain the 65th line?
65th line.
Yeah.
This one.
Aggregate
See,
result dot get
yeah,
exp or
yeah. So what we are doing here is we have the account ID in this account underscore C, right?
yes.
Now what I want to do is like I want to update the account records. So there are two ways. One is like I create a map like this and then again iterate over it, again create the account instance inside that loop and then do it. I'm like, why do I need to do this? Because dynamically as well I can do this activity. I'm assigning the ID value from whatever the query we are getting in this. This is aggregate result. So from that we need to, this is the syntax, like you have to dynamically get the field which you want to, which is coming in here.
The aggregate result there is no name of expr0. We don't
expr0
give
we are
any.
used because this is an expression. This is aggregate function that we are used, right? Now
Yes.
suppose here we write some value like valuation for example. Then instead of it's expr0 we could have used this one also.
Okay.
It is because the Salesforce does this by default. This is the format it takes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then let's go to the next one. Next one is do not allow deletion if the lead status is working or contacted. So this is very simple. Again, we will follow the same pattern, like we'll have this logic of switch case, like whether it is before it. Now, how do we prevent deletion? Like in the trigger, like you have a method of add error, but it would work only in the before. So what we want to do, and we have used here old list. Why? Because whenever we are deleting, the new list will be empty. Everyone knows that, I guess, right?
Yes.
So that's why like we have just checked this condition like if it the status is working or contacted, then just add error. And then because of this add error, the transition will not commit at all. It will throw the error here itself. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll go to the third scenario. When opportunity state is changed to qualification, the related accounts active field should be automatically updated to yes. Now what is the trigger point here? On which object will you write the trigger? Which object you will write the trigger on?
Opportunity.
Sorry, I didn't hear it clearly.
After update.
Opportunity. Opportunity after update.
Opportunity object after update.
Yeah, correct. And then you will have to add the checks here. Like suppose here the things are also the same only, but here there is the catch. Like it is after update. Now you get the details, then check whether it is qualification or not. And why we have added this check is because it is current status is qualification. Previously it was not qualification. So that's why we have added that check. And since opportunity can have exist without an account as well, so we have added that null check. Then what you have done, like again we have collected those IDs of account, and then we have iterated over that, because we need to whatever are these opportunities which have changed to qualification, I need them to be updated to active. So I just iterated over it, updated the status, and then I have just updated the account records. Any confusion in this? Fusion? Any confusion so far? Okay. So we are good on this. This again is a very simple scenario only, I would say it. Second and fourth are kind of same pattern, like when allow case creation only with this user is system admin. For others, it should throw an error. Logic is very simple for this as well. Same thing. The catch is you have to apply the null checks. And even if the profile is in some system administrator, something is wrong, you can actually add error here itself. If the profile exists, then you will assign that profile ID here, add that check, and if it is deleted, now you will have to have a before delete condition. Yeah. And then you will just add error here, so it will not work. Means it will not delete, I mean. So far, so good. Any confusion? I assume it is fine, right? And I'm going with the next one. Next is write a bullet that prevents deletion of the accounts that have related opportunity marked as closed one. Now, what will be the trigger object here? On which object you will write a trigger? What will the trigger object? This is a question to all. I want it to be interactive. I don't want like a monotonous that only I am speaking.
Before update. On
On which
account
object?
object, account object,
On before update.
before update, before insert. On account object.
Why? Like here we are talking about this one, scenario 5.
Bulkified trigger that prevents the deletion of accounts.
So we have to the trigger will be on the account object, and it will be the before delete.
Before
Correct. So we had written that on this account only. Now, for preventing deletion, what we have to do, since it's a old map, we have to collect those IDs. Then for those opportunities, we have to figure out how many are closed one. So from that account IDs, we have checked, like we have just mentioned the count. Here again, we have used the actual aliasing. If not, we would use expr0 here. So we iterated over the aggregate result, like how we have done it for the roll-up summary.
Why we use always aggregate result?
Aggregate result, why? Because
There is another method.
if suppose you use an inner object, like you do an, instead of this one, you do an inner query. Inner query, I mean like this. Like this, you're saying this also we could use. This one you're saying like instead of this aggregate query.
Yes.
Yeah, the problem with this approach is suppose there are for one account there are more than 200 opportunities, then this will error out. And never
And
recommended. In your interview, the panel would clearly say like use the aggregate query only. Which one is better? He will ask you like that.
okay, sorry, can you repeat that one? Which one is better? Why?
This
I
one,
didn't get it.
aggregate query is better actually.
But why?
Because like in the regular one, you have a limit. Like if suppose you have more than five from the parent object, like your account, if it has more than 200 opportunities, then and if you try to do the assignment or do any calculation, it would give you an error. I don't remember the exact error name, but there is actually we have a limitation.
Yeah, when we try to do the bulkification or trigger on the child to parent SQL query, so it will throw the error. After it will work for the only 200 records.
Correct. After that, it will give you error, and that is actually an interview question. Like for advanced level, we actually ask this question.
Yeah, that's why we go for the map thing.
You go either you don't go with a map, you instead use the aggregate query itself, like how
Okay.
we have used here.
Can you explain the aggregate query here?
Aggregate query, see what we are doing is like for one account there could be multiple opportunities.
Yeah, right.
Now what our ask is like whenever I'm trying to delete an account, it should fetch the related if there any opportunity exists which is closed one. So what I do is like I do a query on the opportunity whether it is closed one. Now for those accounts which I'm currently trying to delete, it should check for those only. And then how many are there such a closed opportunity? Because there could be on one account there could be multiple closed one opportunities, right? So I am
Right.
want to count that. And this count function is an aggregation, so that's why like here we have the aggregate result.
Okay, so we are noting there the count ID. So it will retrieve the IDs of that accounts, right?
It will return the count.
Only count. Okay.
So and here then we have added the check like whether in this map this data enter is available, and the count is more than 0, then only it will give you an error. If suppose there are no opportunities which are closed one, then you can delete that account easily. Okay,
Yeah, got it.
now we'll go to the sixth one. This is actually not a, so it's not a worth it. I actually didn't like the scenario earlier I was planning. Next is that custom, like it has Apex managed sharing. Suppose you have custom deal object and then you have like a account lookup. Now, what we want is like whenever deal is updated to is strategic, then all the accounting members of that account should get access to the deal object via custom Apex managed sharing. And whenever it is unchecked, it should be removed. Which is the object that you would be writing the trigger on? Which object you will write the trigger?
On the deal object on the customer.
Yes. So how it will work is, one minute. It is actually quite big. Give me 1 minute. I will just pause for 5 minutes. So here, like for this is actually like we'll open this scenario again. We have a custom deal object and there's a checkbox. Now what first thing that we'll have to do is like we'll have to fetch all the accounts and then fetch the accounting members. Now we'll go to the step one by one. The first thing is we collected all the account IDs and we created actually a map itself. Now what we do from that, we query the accounting members. Like we fetch the accounting member, these are the fields, account ID and user ID. So we fetch all the accounting members of that account, whatever we get. Then we actually we have to give them the read access. So we have the opportunity record deal ID as well. Now what we do here is like we actually should be iterating it like 1 minute. It is we have to check whether it is strategic account or not. So if the opportunity is strategic is equal to true, then we have to give the access. So deals to grant variable is set to like means it is set to true. So then we query that those deals, check the strategic deal, it is a custom row cause. We delete that and then using the accounting members, we create a new records of deal share. Apex share, how does what are the feeds? You have the parent ID, which is the record ID, user group ID, that user who need, or public group ID where you have to give the access. Then the row cause and the access level, whether it is read or write. And if suppose that checkbox is unchecked, then we need to delete as well. So we'll have to check here like whether the strategic is true or it is false. If it is was true and then it is changed to false, then we have to add those deal in the deal story book. Then here you check like whether it is there, then you again query those records and then you delete it manually. It actually is a bit complex, I would say, but this like you should get the understanding like how does the custom Apex sharing happens, and that teams record like how it is organized, like account team member, how what are the fields, how do you use that? These are the things. So again, I will go over this. First thing, what we'll have to do is like we'll fetch like what are the we'll create a deal to account map. Then check whether the deal is strategic or not. If it is true, then we'll add it into a list. Then if it is not, then earlier was it strategic? Then the next thing that we do is like we check like if it already exists, then the sharing already happens or not. Suppose it's not there, then we delete that and then it will work. So this is pretty much like how it works. It is a bit of complex. Means you should be key focused, then only you will follow this. Have you understood this scenario?
I have to go on through that things. Can you share the scenario question?
Yeah, this scenario I can share. The first thing that we do is like collect all the account IDs. Then what we do is like from that means from that deal, we get the account. From that account, we can get the accounting members. Then you iterate to accounting members and check whether if it really strategic. Then give them access to account. That way it will work. So I'm pausing the recording now. I will stop rather.